All right, got Adrian Wildschutt here, NAZ Elite 12:56 for the win, fastest time of the night at BU. How do you feel about that race?
I feel pretty good. We put like I said earlier, we put a great deal of work in focusing on that closing speed, and also first goal was try and win the race, but also get under 13, which was the objective. Mm-hmm. And after the cross chance, I put together a decent block. A few weeks in South Africa, came back to Flagstaff and put together some decent work and focusing on that closing speed. And then again, I was very happy to get the win, of course.
Yeah, and you got to be pleased with that closing speed as well, that last lap.
Yeah, that's something I didn't have. Not that I didn't have, but I didn't focus a lot in college. And I always fell short, getting fourth, second in NCAAs, and I knew that's something that I really had to work on, because I know my aerobic ability is up par with everybody else in the field. At least that's how I see it, and then really focusing dial it down on the specific speed work and really on the closing speed with my teammates Olin and Ahmed and Wesley Kipto and everybody else in my team that really helped me and ultimately helped me got away with a win. So very grateful to that.
I mean, that's a tough skill to develop, improving your closing speed. How do you go about doing that specifically?
Well, at least for me, I know it's probably going to be different for everybody, because my fundamentals is always my aerobic ability. Mm-hmm. And so it was really hard for me to, I would say probably like the last year, I was already trying to focusing on that, but this year, the last 8 weeks, I was really dialing down. And it's just an example. We would do a long set of aerobic speed endurance, and then maybe the last quarter of the workout, really, let's say an 800, pick it up each to 100 to see where I'm getting it. So that I guess that really helped a lot.
Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of talk about there being 2 heats in this meet, as opposed to sort of one fast heat and one a little less. Did you worry about that at all with which heat you were placed in?
I don't really care that much. I just wanted to make sure that there's people that can run under 30 in my heat. It doesn't have to be I kind of wanted to be in the heat with Joe Klecker. I don't know why. I just thought he's very similar in racing than I can see myself, which I knew if I was in the heat with him, I would imagine he's probably going to start pushing me towards the last 6, which would benefit me. Then waiting the last 100 or 200 and then really just explosiveness, which I think that's not my strong suit necessarily. And so it was kind of, I don't know how I felt about being in a different heat, but all I knew, I had really good guys up there, Woody Kincaid, Nico Young, and Dylan Jacobs. There's a whole lot of them. And I knew with those people we probably would get very close as long as we stay on the pace for the first 3K.
Yeah, and what's the plan for the rest of the season for you?
That's the thing. We really decided the Olympics is going to be the main focus, and so everything in between is in preparation for that. And so I'm not going to race a lot. My next race will be the 10 in March, the 10K, and then hopefully, God willing, I can get into the Prefontaine Diamond League in May. Okay. I'm trying to do I think it's a 3K, but something like, or 5K, either one. And then maybe get another race or 2 after that before the Olympics.
Yeah, and so no world cross country then?
No. Yeah, I was looking at that and I was like, I don't know, it's so close to the 10, and it's 2 weeks after the 10, and I was like, I don't know if I really should do that, because I also got to do the South African Olympic trials in April. And so that would just stack up too many races in between, and I was like, okay, I really love cross country, and it's really a part of me that's got taken away a little bit with going professional. I really love NCAAs and the cross country and how it's done, and so I really wanted to compete there. But then again, you have to look at the bigger picture, and knowing that there's a bigger picture and focusing on the Olympics is probably more important.
Yeah. How did you feel about 2023? How that season went for you?
2023, it was my rookie year. I actually, with everything in consideration, I think I did really well. I was 14th at World Champs. I broke 3 South African records. I ran 13:02 for 5K, 27:23 last year. I guess it's the one in May, the sound running one in May. And so I would imagine, I think my season went really well, but all the time I knew that if I really want to get better and really want to win big meets, I have to work on my closing speed, because I know I have the aerobic ability. Again, I just want to put emphasis on it, and I know everybody knows this as well. Hey, when I'm in a race, they know just stay with him for most of the race, you will outkick him. That's how it is. Yeah. And I think this season I really wanted to take to the next level, and with having Olan Hecker and Ahmad Mohammed and Wesley Kipto and all my training partners with so much different strong suits, and I really fed off of those aspects. Training with Olan very specifically the last few weeks really helped me with those closing speed, and I am really grateful for all my teammates, very specifically my sponsor Hoka. They are amazing people to work with, and my team NAZ Elite. I'm very grateful to have those people in my corner, and without them, none of this will even be possible. So I'm really grateful to that. And yeah.
How is the transition to the new coach, Jack Mulaney, going for you?
I was obviously with every new coach, you kind of always unsure. But then, you know, at the end of the day, it's like the only one thing you can do is start building that relationship with your coach. New coach, talk to him about what you know, what works for you, and what he brings to the table as well, and really discussing those aspects. And I think he probably followed me a little bit before he came on as coach, so he kind of knew as well, like, there's really one specific area we got to focus on besides keeping the aerobic ability, is that speed ability. Yep. So my relationship with Zach is amazing. We're always non-stop talking and getting feedback and knowing how I feel, and constantly talking about what I have to work on. Like I said in the beginning, you're unsure because I really trust my previous coach with Nas Elite, and making that switch so quickly, coming out of college as well. So 3 coaches in a span of like not even a year. So I was really like kind of unsure all over the place. But then I got to know Zach, and I really like Zach right now. And clearly we've been working on some things that we both know that I need to focus on to really get the best result. So yeah. I'm really grateful that we were able to put together some decent work.
Would you say that was the best race of your life tonight?
I'm gonna say there's definitely one of my best ones, but I'm gonna go because I see that as a developmental phase of my career, and I'm gonna have to say the one in 2022 right here. And I ran as a junior in college. I ran 13:09 on this track with Rudy Kincaid and all those Bauman guys. And I ran 13:09 as a junior in college, and that really put me out there. And I think that's one of the races that really put me on the map to even get a professional contract. So I see that as a very crucial race of my life. I don't know necessarily if it's the best race. I think this one has to be up there for sure.
All right, well, congratulations, Adrian. Appreciate the time.
Thank you so much, man.